Hey, good morning. I'm Crystal Roy with the Safari Group, and I'm coming here to talk to you about down payment assistance. So there are a few things that you need to know. The state of North Carolina and the state of South Carolina, two states I'm licensed in, believes in home ownership. And what we know from statistics is that children who live in homes that are purchased, or where you're the owner versus the renter, actually perform better in school. So this is great for the community as well, because this means when we engage with these folks in the community as our service providers, as our tradesmen, even the teenager who is helping out with their first job, they're going to be better equipped to be a contributing citizen of our community. So each time that you and I pay taxes to our state, there are funds set aside to help with home ownership. Now, who can qualify as a first-time home buyer? That's a great question. So even if you've owned a home in the past, as long as you've not been on the deed of a property for the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer. Now, let's talk about the case where maybe you've got an older parent, and with a move to protect their assets, they've added you to the deed of their property. This actually will disqualify you. And also, while this is not legal advice, please consult your best elder law attorney. Do not ever, 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 ever put your kids' names on your deed. This exposes you to more risk, and it actually loses them out on the opportunity for $15,000, which is the current amount for down payment assistance. The way that it could affect you, which is another topic, but I'm just going to mention it, talk to your attorney. If you were to add your children's names to your deed in an effort to protect them, to protect you, or to protect you, try to protect your home from any type of Medicare benefits that you might need in your later years, the way that actually exposes your home is if your child is ever sued for any reason and they come after the child's assets, that deed to your property will cause you potentially to lose your home. Also, if there are any type of other lawsuits, including IRS liens, it exposes your property to have an IRS lien placed against your property because your child's name is on your deed. So please never, never, never do that. The better way to do that is to put your property in a trust and make your child beneficiary of the trust. Now, while this is not legal advice, and I urge you to consult with your best elder law attorney, I will also let you know, be very careful. There's a top 10% and a bottom 10% in every field, and there's a local elder law attorney here in town with several offices that I personally know has given 3 different people very bad advice. So, if you'd like for me to direct you to the people who I know and trust, I'd love to help you with that. But let's continue on talking about down payment assistance. What this means is, with the amount that's now being given through North Carolina's First Home Advantage down payment program, is if you're a first-time home buyer or you have not had your name on a deed for the last 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer. Or if you're a military veteran, you could qualify for the North Carolina Home Advantage mortgage, and you would be eligible for up to $15,000 in down payment assistance with the North Carolina First Home Advantage down payment. Okay, so this down payment is 0% deferred second mortgage. So if you qualify, you don't need to repay the down payment assistance unless you sell or if you refinance, or if you move out of the home in the first 15 years. Even better, the down payment loan is forgiven 20% per year at the end of years 11 through 15, with complete forgiveness at the end of year 15. So this actually is something that could benefit you and your family in many ways. You may be eligible for other down payment assistance if you're not eligible for this particular one. And here are some of the questions that I like to ask to help direct you in case you are eligible. So, first of all, you have to be a first-time home buyer, so you've not owned a principal residence or had your name on a deed, right, in the past 3 years. You're a military veteran, or you're purchasing a home in a targeted area. So we do have some really specific areas that North Carolina would like to increase home ownership in. So it could be that you're buying in that particular area. And then next, your income and home sales price don't exceed certain limits. So this is for people who really need the help, not for somebody who's making, $85,000, $90,000 a year. And then also, it's not for a $500,000 home, depending upon your area. So for North and South Carolina, that sales price amount is going to be less. And then your credit score, your middle of the 3 credit scores that you have must be 640 or higher with most lenders. There are some lenders who may do it for 620 middle score, but most lenders are going to target the 640 middle score. So TransUnion, Equifax, and oh gosh, the third one always escapes me. You have 3 scores. So you might have 600, 675, and 640. So out of these 3 numbers, if we put them in increasing order, your middle score would be 640. So in that criteria, you would be eligible. So this is specifically at the moment for North Carolina. So this is purchasing a home in North Carolina. Now, it must be your primary residence. That means that it's the home you're going to live in, and you must occupy this home within 60 days of closing. And you must be a legal resident of the United States. So if you are eligible, given these particular terms, the $15,000 could go a long way. So depending upon your price point, if you're purchasing a home, for example, around the $200,000 price point, and the down payment is 3.5%, then that additional money up to $15,000 could pay all, most, or some of your closing costs. Those other closing costs that you might have, we can negotiate for the seller to pay on your behalf if you don't have a lot of cash on hand. Now, there's some other things to consider, and that is, do you have a large 401k? Do you have other assets on hand? So these types of great things that you've been able to do for yourself would not allow you to participate in this program. This program is leaning more toward people who wouldn't have cash on hand or have any assets at all. So it's a great way, if you've ever dreamed of home ownership, to qualify and purchase your first home. And I'd love to help you with that. I am licensed in North and South Carolina. My primary market area is the Charlotte market area, Charlotte Metro. I've lived, worked, and played in Charlotte and South Carolina my whole life, except for 1 year when I lived overseas with our family. But I just wanted to invite you to also click on other videos below that you might see that would be helpful to you. But back to down payment assistance, if home ownership has ever been a dream of yours, I'd love to help you with that. And with the down payment assistance in place, it would mean you'd only have like a couple $1,000s out of pocket in order to get your property under contract and have inspections. And then typically the time frame is about 30 days. So once we started working together, once you go under contract, being pre-qualified with the lender who provides down payment assistance, and they don't all provide that, then you would close on your new home in about 30 days. So today's interest rate is a little better than it has been recently, But remember, renting is kind of like 100% interest because you never get that money back in terms of any future sale of a property and any equity that you might have built. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me, Crystal at thesafarigroup.com, or you can text or call 704-562-1030. If it goes to voicemail, I'll call you right back, but you'll always be talking to me directly. And again, it's Crystal Roy with the Safari Group, 704-562-1030. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.